Hey everyone, welcome back to Answer to Abductees. I know you're very familiar with my face and voice, but I want to start introducing you to my teammates. They are the experts that give me most of the answers or all of the answers that I give you from your requests. So let's check it out, let's listen, and let's learn about extraterrestrials and their work on our universe.
Well, let's go, everyone. Now, in this part 2, we will be responding to those who were abducted. Let's do this. Well, we're going to start with a different question. So there's someone asking, how do I make contact with ETs? What we talk about. Many people want to make contact and many already have but doesn't want to. Certainly it comes with another question that answers itself. Some say, why, when we start the aura cleanse, are we so sought after by ETs, right? Then the person even complains, right? What is their intention? Why so many dreams? Why do grays appear? Well, what happens? At the cleanses, we do those mantras with the energy of the Antareans, Arcturians, and Alpha Centaurians, a number of ETs and people who suffer from illegal abductions. Then they start to feel the treatment. And this treatment is the distance from those beings who perform the illegal abduction. So that's why sometimes those people who suffer illegal abductions feel a little uncomfortable, because it will take them out of an illegal abduction situation to put them in tune with the Antarians' energies. All of this. We will explain everything properly. We will go through the exercises. And now we have the proper channels to respond to the abducted, where we're going to provide knowledge for both abductees and non-abductees, courses, and also seek or develop extrasensory vision of the supine time that is now valid in the world. Well, let's go. A question that dates back to ancient times. According to Sumerian culture, we were genetically created by an evolved race to mine minerals that generated energy for their planets. Is this real or a myth of the time? Of course it's real. This happened back then with the Sumerians. They explain that very well. There's also the part about the Anunnaki that we know from back then too, which are alien beings who came to make genetic modifications in humans. These genetic modifications continue to this day. It hasn't stopped. That's the description we have from the Sumerians. It's the initial kickoff, and after that part about the Anunnaki, various other beings arrived, each adding a touch to human evolution, right? The latest ones that arrive now are the Andromedans after the Anunnaki Sha-Mi, many others. The various forms of abductions. Why do they abduct people based on the good that people have in different regions of the body? And what is their project to help what started back then? In the time of the Sumerians for evolution, we have to understand that this genetic alteration made by the ETs is not going to clash with religious teaching. As this human being is shaped, it acquires various forms until it receives the breath of life. And what do we study? Human was made from clay, but the clay continues to be shaped up above. It is so that each manipulation of the clay takes millions of years down here. God stirs the clay, their 0.0001 of a second here spans 10 million years. When does the reform have an effect? We're going to show graphs, we're going to show drawings, we'll illustrate all of this. In truth, we must learn to link the facts. It is not the fact that humans have been genetically altered here, but rather the fact that above, the hand of God has stirred the clay. How to link that is what we need to understand, right? So that we may know that every dimension translates a single act differently, doesn't it? We have to get that. So we will make it very clear. Right? Of course, there are those who respond in minutes to these questions, multiple questions we have here, but understanding this requires a complete course. We are going to give this course from the Sumerians to the present day. right? From Anunnakis to the Andromedans. It's a very long timeline, this story that we're about to tell, right? Setting up this course, this story of the genetic meddling with humans, and we're also going to provide activities in our course that will help transform human DNA into alien DNA, right? It's possible to do activations where your DNA, made up of adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine, that double helix becomes a triple helix, as alien DNA is said to be. And this in time. In the age of Aquarius, it's possible. So how do I get in contact with ETs? Begin studying philosophy, start practicing our powers, accompany abductees of our worthy group, and who you associate with will reflect who you are. If you start hanging out with abductees, you will end up being abducted. It's a natural law. That's why we want to hold meetings with abductees, lectures with abductees, so you, amidst 100 abductees, it will be impossible for you not to make contact. All this we are setting up. Wait for what's coming ahead. Well, next question. Yes. Let's go. What's the likelihood of beings from Sirius existing among us, or us perceiving beings from there through constant connections and dreams? This question comes from afar. Well, beings from Sirius, right? I, as everyone already knows, have a connection with Antares, right? Before I was born on Earth, I was incarnated there in Antares. It is written in the book. There I entered. I just disembodied here on Earth and ended up being incarnated into this human form. Antarian origin, about 3.6 feet tall and green. Now Andrea, who's beside me, she can talk with more authority about Arcturians. Why? She's an incarnate from Arcturus on Earth, and she can speak more about how there are hundreds of Antarians incarnated on Earth, and there are hundreds of Arcturians incarnated here on Earth in a human body.
Hi everyone, so the Arcturians are the blue ETs. They come to Earth to bring healing. Right? We do spiritual cleansing with the Arcturians. There are all the energetic advantages. You know, we do it. Spiritual operations we do. And it really helps people, you know. And my story of being a transcarnated, right? They say I incarnated on Earth and then had several reincarnations until I got here, but I came from that planet. So I have this supine ship that follows me with 22 extraterrestrials here and has been with me since I was little. I have this ship. And that's why they help me with people's healing, right? I also have other contacts as well. It's because within we learn, we develop other contacts. But this was my first contact.
Thank you, Andrea. Well, quickly to conclude, Pedro, you have 10,000 years of memory from past lives. The UFOs we're seeing, they're here to help us. People are seeing what looks like quite a few UFOs, right? And these UFOs that are revealing themselves, is it when they show themselves to many people, as is happening now? Their purpose is to help us, right? We see various footage on the internet, many videos that are being shared on WhatsApp groups where a cluster of lights is visible. What are they doing? They are giving the first touches for the masses, that's what it is. Allowing themselves to be seen, and soon this contact will be made public, as I've already said before. Today, those who talk about ETs are considered, right? Quite different, kind of weird. In the future, weird will be those who haven't made contact with ETs, right? then it'll be a reason for bullying, like, but you never saw an Alpha Centauri. You've never spoken with an Antarian. You're totally out. It will be. Things change.
So I know the information, the audio wasn't as clear as my voice now, but I do hope you're able to understand what they were saying. And we are going to share way more knowledge at our nonprofit courses and as well at our channel. Feel free to ask questions, send us messages, and we are here to answer any time and any questions that you have.